Welcome to the next tutorial of ethical hacking and penetration testing via Kali Linux. So far we have seen the importance of footprinting and reconnaissance, and I've shown you several different tools as to how you can go ahead and gather information. But every time you need to go ahead and download stuff, and just to be sure that in case you are a malicious hacker, and if you're trying to gather information and you're searching these tools via Google and gathering information, then you need to know that even Google keeps a record of your search. So next time if you're trying to do something wrong, and Google will always have a trace on you, and they can easily follow your footsteps, which email ID you're using, which IP address have been used from your ID to access it, and what all can be done. So the best approach would be to use a different browser and different rather than Chrome. I would prefer Mozilla, or the best one that we have over here, default is Iceweasel in Kali Linux. But there is one more secure browser which is known as Tor browser, but I would not recommend downloading anything through that because it would again go ahead and waive off your anonymity. So, but still there are different ways. I won't be disclosing each and every one of them, but there are ways as to how you can go ahead and anonymously download stuff so that your paths could not be traced and you can be anonymous. So assuming that you have all the tools, but still there are some or the other point that all the tools may not work on one operating system. Let's say if you're using the Ubuntu, then you may have problems downloading the RPM package, or the latest update may not be available. If you're using Windows, then it's more or less I'm sure that you won't have all the tools available on Windows, because hacking is not actually used when you're using Windows. Hacking cannot be done only by using a operating system like Windows. You need an open source system like Linux. Even I can prefer Mac, but Windows, nah, no, it's a total no. So, but why do we have to go through Macs or operating system like Windows when we have our own Kali Linux, and we have all those tools such as Whois or the Harvester or any related DNS queries that we want? I can straight away go ahead and gather this information through my only only operating system, that is Kali Linux. So yes. So I would be showing you today all those things that we could do through Kali Linux, and we don't even have to download a single tool from the web, and there's no question of anyone tracing you at all. So the information gathering steps of footprinting and scanning are the most important before hacking. Good information gathering can make the difference between a successful penetration testing and one that has failed to provide maximum benefit to a client. We can say that information is a weapon. A successful penetration testing and a hacking process needs a lot of relevant information, and that is why information gathering, or the so-called footprinting, is the first step of hacking, and it is the most important. Because if you have correct information, then you can do anything you want. If you have wrong information, then you may not be able to hack the right party, or you may even go ahead and just expose yourself to everyone that you have all this information. So gathering valid login names and emails are the most important part of penetration testing. So there is a tool in Kali Linux that is known as the Harvester. I'll just go ahead and show it out to you. Then here I'll just go ahead and start the Harvester directly. Yep. So the Harvester has been developed in Python. It's been written in Python by Christian Martorella, and if you don't know Python, then you surely need to go ahead and learn. Although just using this tool does not require your knowledge of Python, but still Python is a good programming language, that's why. And it is a tool which provides, the Harvester is a tool which provides us information about the email accounts, usernames, host names, subdomains from different public sources like search engines and PGP key server. This tool is designed to help penetration tester on an earlier stage. It is an effective, simple, and quite easy to use tool. The sources supported are Google, their emails, subdomains, hostname, Google profiles such as Loy Names, Bing Search, PGP servers, LinkedIn, Exalead, and the new features would include time delay between requests, XML results export, searching a domain in all sources, and virtual host verifier. So if you're using Kali Linux, you can just go ahead on the terminal and use the command the Harvester, and okay, and it will run. So you can see that all of these things, and make sure that you go through all of these things again, and because it's very useful and it will give you much more knowledge rather than just copying my thing over here and pasting it on your terminal. So it's very much important that you go through all of these commands and what it does, because I would be using them today. And just in case it is not available for your distribution, that means if you're not using Kali Linux, you can easily download it from, we have under, I'll just go ahead and open my Google Chrome and let me check if my Google is still working. Yep. So you can just go to http and I'll type code.google.com/p/the harvester. Let me check. Okay, so here we have in the GIT hub the latest resources available. So it shows you what it all does. That means passive discovery, virtual host, Bing, that's pinging server host, and the active directory, that is the DNS brute force, DNS reverse lookup, and DNS TDL expansion, and TLD directory brute force enumeration as well, which is quite important. So now we know how these work, what does this thing do. We will first go ahead and implement these things on a Kali Linux, on any normal web page, and then we will see how it works exactly. I'll just quit it over here, open my Kali Linux. Perfect. So I'll just type the harvester D, and over here will be the URL. So I'll just type google.com L300 B Google, and I'll just hit enter. So what you could see over here is that it's searching all the results on Google, and there were no emails found with this on this website. So what it shows is that -D over here, the thing that I wrote, -D will be the remote site from which you want to fetch the juicy information. I will limit the search for specified number. For us it would be 300, and -L over here will be the limit for the search specified by the number, that is this one, and -B will be the search engine that I use. So from the above information of email address, you can go and identify the pattern of email addresses assigned to employees of organization. As of Google, it's quite secure, so it won't show you anything, but let me try something else. Let me go ahead and use a different website. I have one more thing in place, so I'll have, let's say, 6th startech.com, and let's check if we get any results. Okay, so I'm not getting any result. Maybe even this has got way too secure. So but yes, this is how it works, and you can go ahead and find out any information that you want through this. So from the above information, I can go ahead and show you all of these things. The command will grab the information. I'll also show you one more thing. Instead of that, I'll just type all the harvester hyphen D6 startech LB all. Perfect. So what it would do, it will go ahead and search on all the search engines, and it will give me back the result. This command will grab them from multiple search engines, and as you can see that first it was searching only through Google, and now it is searching even through Bing. So to save the result, just go ahead and put a -F parameter as shown in the example. I'll just go ahead and show you. Okay, so there were no email IDs found for over here. I'll just, and just in case, all, and I'll type -F, and I'll type pen test. So just in case you go ahead and find any email IDs over there, you can just go ahead and type it over here like this, and it will be saved in the pentest directory, and -F means that you are asking it to save it in a specific folder. As you can see, it was error creating file because there was nothing found, but let me see if the file was created or not. So I just need home view tree. Okay, perfect. Okay, as you can see, we have appendix HTML, and yes, there is nothing over here as of now because we are not able to find any information. Let's check some websites. If I get any good website, then I'll surely go ahead and let me think Microsoft, and I'll go ahead and search the same for Microsoft.com because probably the or I'll type, let's say, I don't know whether it will work or not, just let's check. Let's try to harvest some results, and I'll open another one. I'll do it and type the same thing. So let's go ahead and try our commands once more, and I'll type Google this time. So let's check whether we get any information. I should probably get perfect. So as you can see that previously my internet was down, so that's the reason I did not get anything. And you can see that I only searched this in Google and I got these many email IDs from that. So it's quite easy for you to understand that what would be the email IDs and what they could give things out. So let's go ahead and check for google.com if you are able to get anything for Google. So if just in case if you get any results from Google that XYZ at the rate blah blah blah, and you get that any fake email ID and you want to search whether the email that you received, because sometimes some attackers what they do is that if you have an organization and then they go ahead and send the email to an employee of your organization stating that this is from the IT department and we are asking you to go ahead and log in at the following terminal, and this is the google.com and this is your Gmail ID, so just log in. And so you need to know that whether the email came from the right party, from the same google.com or somewhere else. So you at that point of time you can go ahead and check the host and the domain over here, and these are the two emails found over here, and these were the host IPs for each and everything, and you can go ahead and gather information, and it will be much easier for you to identify whether the person who sent you the email is the right party or not. You even have the IP address from where these emails get sent, so you don't need to worry about the IP addresses. Just in case your the mail that you received was a fake one, you can also go ahead and easily trace it, since you will already also be having the IP address. So that is it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial I'll be starting with the who is and the DNS mapping and stuff. So that's it for the harvester.